Spider-Man No Way Home is probably gonna be the most insane movie of the year, bringing back various villains and possibly superheroes from past movies, and they recently released this absolute piece of garbage, this poster. And after looking at it for a little longer, I got more and more confused. There is a lot wrong in this image, not even speaking of how it looks like a fan-made poster. In a second, I'll be going into what specifically is so weird about it, but the point is, I hate the way it looks. So I thought maybe I can give it a shot myself. That's exactly what I'm gonna do today, to try to remake and fix this Spider-Man No Way Home poster whilst staying true to the concept and composition. Before editing, we first need to know why exactly it looks so amateuristic. If you want to skip to the editing, feel free to do so using the chapters below. First of all, the most obvious thing is the frickin' motion blur on the tentacles. It looks awful. Seriously, I've never ever seen this on a poster, let alone a Hollywood production the size of this one. It makes it look super cheap and even low resolution. Then there's the lighting. I haven't got a shred of doubt about it. This is literally one of these typical lighting overlays you can just drop on top of it. Maybe they changed the color a bit, but they did nothing else to it. It's just drag and drop. I almost can't believe that, to be honest. It's crazy. Spider-Man is also completely disconnected from whatever he is standing on. Down there it's super dark, while Spidey is lit from both sides. Speaking of the lighting, this makes zero sense. The lighting is all over the place. Look at the Goblin. Why is there a light coming from the right? In general, the colors and lighting are the biggest issue, so I am hoping I can do something to fix that issue. I went online to search for some material to work with, and here's another thing to keep in mind, by the way. I'm using very questionable material. I don't have access to the high resolution renders they have. So not only am I some rando attempting this, I also don't have any of the original stock images, so I gotta use some mediocre material. Anyways, let's get into this. I'm going to make the same exact concept basically, but in my own style and fixing most of the issues I referred to earlier. That means everything will basically look the same, but hopefully better. It all started with the sky in the background. It's basically two cloudy skies merged together. I made it bluish like the original and quickly moved on to the rubble Spider-Man is sitting on. I started adding a bunch of shadows and highlights, and I'm not gonna lie, this actually took a while before it looked nice. Mostly because none of the other interacting elements were there yet. It's basically one big guess at this point. The moment I dropped in Spidey, that changed. For him, I just cut him out from the original poster because I couldn't find an image even remotely similar. For him, it's the same sort of thing again. A whole lot of shadows combined with a whole lot of highlights. For some depth, I added another layer of rubble behind it. This gave it some atmosphere and, yeah, well, just more depth, like I said. Later, I also added some light bloom on the horizon to make it look nice and warm. Then it was time for the lightning. I used the same sort of overlays I accused Marvel of using, but I'm not Marvel, so I can just do that. Besides, you'll see that if you put a little more effort into it, you can make even these look quite appealing. I added some yellow glow for the color, just like the original, and in the clouds I also added light since I felt like the lightning is just quite bright, really. This also took a while, but in the end the result did look kinda cool. The lightning went hand in hand with a nice yellow highlight on Spidey, one that actually does make sense. I wanted to add the movie title just to see what it looked like, and to my own surprise, it simply just, it works, right? Now the biggest, most obvious thing, the tentacles. Tentacles. I used some textureless 3D model I found online, link in description, and tried warping my way around the awkward position they were in. Once in place, I added a shitload of shadows and once more paired with highlights. I was surprised by how cool they ended up looking, even though they're just basic renders with a grunge texture slapped on top of them. Also, I made sure not to add motion blur. Honestly, why would you do that? Like, I get it's realistic, but damn, just don't do that on a poster. That's hideous. Then the goblin, very tiny in the background. It's really just quite basic stuff. From here it ended up being the same stuff in general, really. Sand I later did with some solid colors and smoke brushes. This didn't look all that great, but I couldn't find any sand overlay, so I had to paint that myself. Painting just isn't really my thing yet, but I guess it doesn't look necessarily bad either. But from here it's just more post effects and a camera raw filter. And there you have it. That's my take on this concept. I'm gonna leave the decision up to you. I'm not trying to be cocky, but I myself think mine just looks a bit more thought through. The original just, it's a mess. That's what it is. Mine seems to be more consistent in coloring and lighting and just, well, everything really. Now, take this in. I made this poster in less than 2 hours, and you can't possibly tell me that the original turned out this way because of a tight deadline, for example. I won't have it. If I can do it like this, so can a bunch of professionals over there. I'm genuinely in the dark about what the hell went wrong here. Like, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. Now, know this. By making this video, I'm not trying to show off or anything. I just want to show you guys how this poster is shit. No, just kidding. I just want to give you some perspective into how a poster like this is made and what it takes. The only difference between me and them is they had original renders and models, like Spider-Man himself, the Goblin, the Tentacles. This is why I don't understand how bad the Tentacles look. Like, wow. Point of all this, I don't even know what the point is. Marvel, if you see this, please hire me. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment, and if you enjoy my overall content, feel very free to subscribe. That would actually mean the world to me. And then I hope I'll see you in my next video.